Hey, Yinz guys and gals, gather round for a journey like no other. It's time to hop on board the Where Yinz Goin podcast. From the rivers that meet at the point to form downtown Pittsburgh, to the Great Salt Lake, to the furthest corners of the globe, Matt and Katie will be your compass, your confidants, your companions of that, as we explore the wonders of travel. So kick back, relax on your couch, and let the wanderlust wash over Yinz as we discover new horizons and reminisce about old favorites. With Matt and Katie by our side, the sky's the limit. Join Matt and Katie on the Where Yinz Goin podcast, because when it comes to travel, the journey's just getting started. And now, without further ado, let's give a shout for your guides through the highways and byways of travel, the planning partners, the travel tandem, Matt and Katie.
How Yinz doing? Welcome to the Where Yinz Goin podcast. I'm Matt. I'm one of your hosts. Joining me again today is my co-host Katie, back from her FCC violation suspension because she muttered. No, I'm kidding. No, Katie's back joining us today, so that's always great. And also we have Annell, who joined us to talk about the Disney College Program and kids' perspectives of Disney. So welcome back, Annell, and kind of welcome back, Katie.
Yay, happy to be back.
Hi, guys.
So since Annell's been here before, we're going to change it up a bit with our normal starting question of the favorite place you've ever been or a place you want to go to the most of. Annell, do you have a favorite travel memory?
My favorite travel memory would be when my son turned 21. We took a family cruise, and it was not just us, it was grandparents and uncles and cousins. So that had to be most memorable because that I can't really think when's the last time we all took a family trip, and it was with our spouses and children and my parents. So that have to be my most memorable trip.
The extended family trip.
I love a big family like cruise or like trip because like you roll in and it's like you have an entourage.
That's exactly what it was, a cruise.
And yeah. And if you bring in enough, people are like, who are they?
Right. Important people.
And the most important thing on there, which Katie has mentioned many times, is on that trip you packed the most important thing ever, grandma.
Yes.
Although then your son was older, so it's not quite as big a deal as whenever they're younger. It's like, hey, grandma, do you want to watch the kids for a bit while we actually get a vacation?
But
It's kind
even
of
at
more like, hey,
21,
grandma, I'm 21. Let's take a shot.
Oh, I love it.
So our topic today is very timely. We're talking about the new hotels that are, they're now open at Universal Orlando. So an Epic Universe is just opening. Let's see, this is airing on Friday, the 23rd, 24th, one of those days. What's this Friday? What is today? Does anyone know today's date?
Today's the 19th.
We're recording on Monday, so the
23rd.
23rd, yes.
So it'll been open one day.
Happy opening of Epic Universe.
Yay.
So, of course, the new hotels are in the vicinity. Now there's kind of like two campuses with Universal Orlando, that there is the area where the other hotels are, and Universal Studios Florida, Islands of Adventure, and Volcano Bay. Epic Universe is a little bit away from that. There's still shuttle bus transportation between the two, so it's not that big of a deal. It's not that far, but it's kind of just a little bit separate. Now, with the three hotels that are now open, you still get the amenities that you get at the other parks, like early admission. You can get into the parks up to 1 hour early, which includes going to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. You get the complimentary transportation, which is the shuttle buses and the water taxis. You can make purchases with your room key, and those purchases can be delivered to your room, although that ends at 5:00 p.m. and it's only for the Universal owned and operated stores, so be careful of that. But
I'm sure if you go on a little shopping spree and you don't want somebody to know about it, that you send them out for ice.
Sounds like words of experience.
look, they just gave us stuff, right? It just appeared. I don't know. This is why Universal's so great. So we're going to start with Stella Nova, which opened on January 21st of this year. The theme is the infinite universe and is a prime value classification hotel. It has shuttle buses to the other parks, and the exterior is really neat. It's like this multicolor curved exterior thing. It's almost like a iridescent type thing, and the windows are oval shaped. So it's not the typical rectangular stuff. It is different. It just looks really cool to stay in.
Yeah.
And by the way, and now which one did you stay at?
I stayed at the
Terra Nova
Terra Luna.
or Terra Luna? Yeah. So all right. So she got to see all of these, but she had a recent trip down there. And Katie, were you there as well?
I wasn't at Universal. I was at Disney World.
So she
So
was on the other end. But
and I did a Disney cruise. So I was at the other area.
she was tempted to stay another day to do
It
Epic
was.
Universe though. But
It was a lot, but I was sunburned. I didn't do a great job at lookout. I should have put a little more, I should have looked out for a little more sunscreen. So, but so I know that Stella Nova, it means new star in Latin. So that's kind of a cool, like, I think that like that's a really good way to describe all of the things that Universal is doing and bringing to the table. It really is new, inventive, and just awesome. They've got a lot of really cool things that makes Universal a destination in and of itself. It's always been a park that you would want to go and visit and stuff, but this is just a little bit more all-encompassing. So
yeah, it's changing things from okay, maybe a 3 day stay that now you need 5 to 7 to
that
see everything that Universal Orlando has to offer.
True.
Now the rooms, they're double queen rooms. And this is neat that I've seen this on other hotels and also on different cruise lines. Is it's a separate vanity and bathroom, so someone can be in the bathroom taking their shower, and then there's also the uh, sink in the mirror that's outside, so the two people can get ready at once in the morning. And I'm gonna have to complain to my parents about this. That having 3 sisters growing up, where was this? I mean, hey, designing, house design issues, maybe, So, but the rooms are 315 square feet, so that's a decent size as well.
Mhm. They're comfy. They're definitely comfy. It doesn't feel that size at all. They were really good with how just the seating, instead of having seating that kind of comes out, it's kind of like built in along the wall. So they're very strategic on how they place everything. So it feels just very light and airy in the room.
So it's not cluttered. It maximizes the space that they have to make
Right.
it.
Clean
It's like,
lines.
may not be cluttered when they designed it. When I bring my shoes in, it will be.
it's like they're breaking the laws of physics here, that it's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside type thing.
Right.
And now there's basically just one type of room there. Since it is the prime value category, that they don't have really the big suites or anything else, but we'll get to some of those later on. But restaurants, they have and you notice a theme here, since they did they did a really good job of the theming with this, that everything is geared towards that outer space type thing. And, the New Star Hotel has stuff that's all outer spacey, like the Cosmos Cafe and Market, which is a quick service place, has basically American fare that for breakfast, you'll get the eggs, waffles, pancakes, French toast, croissants, bagels, pastries, and then something else if whatever you guys want to get to. That's just mine. Lunch and dinner is like burgers, paninis, chicken, pasta, pizza, soup, salad, and they have some good desserts there too, along with some grab and go options. So this is when you're heading out to the park. It's like, okay, I'm kind of hungry, don't want to actually sit down. We were in a rush. Let's grab what we got and let's eat on the way. The next one up is the Galaxy Bar and Galaxy Grill, which is right next to the pool. And this has burgers, quesadillas, salads, pretzels, wings, chicken, hot dogs, again, basic poolside stuff. Not exactly the most healthy, but it's good. And vacation calories don't count.
Now,
But
what I will say is that I noticed in the area of the quick service, they do have some healthy options that, I haven't seen me personally at Disney, like the muscle milk and the protein shake. So there's like stuff, little stuff like that that you can pick up, um, that are people that are a little bit more, health conscious. They're just trying to not eat as heavy. I did notice they had a good selection of that.
yeah, they do
Is
have salads and other things along those lines. And some of the chicken, if it's grilled chicken, it's not, horrible for you. So you can't, the places are doing a better job of giving healthier options where you're, all around. But sorry,
Right.
Katie, I cut you off.
no, I was just thinking, I am always envious of the people that you see on vacation that are up jogging around the resort. I would like to be one of those people, but I'm not. I'm one of the people that's like, oh, give me a burger and a milkshake and we're on our way. So,
Right, right.
Well, a couple weeks ago, that Mandy was on talking about their Disney cruise on the Treasure, and her husband had great advice. Before you do the trip, you diet for like a month and you lose that 10 pounds. So whenever you gain back during the actual vacation, it's not a big deal. So very important at the Galaxy Bar and Galaxy Grill is this where you can get your refillable souvenir mug, and it's themed towards the Stella Nova Hotel. And there's different fees for it depending on how long your stay is, whether it's 1 to 3 days, 4 to 7, or 8 or more days. And then you can get your go to your Coca-Cola Freestyle place, get whatever drinks you want in it while you're at the resort or at the hotel. You get coffee, tea. So it's really nice that if you get that souvenir mug just to have all your drinks while you're at the resort, and in the morning you wake up, you fill it up with something, and you're off to the park.
All right.
Of course, since it is the Galaxy Bar, they do have alcoholic beverages for those who are 21 or older and have the ID to prove it, or in my case, the wrinkles to prove it. So, I don't, never been carded. Now they have a seating area with some tables and chairs, but they also have some couches that you can relax on while you're eating. So just pool's right there, chilling on a couch. I mean, this is where you go to relax and sit back and enjoy your vacation.
Right. Right. And it's nice because not everybody likes to enjoy the pool. They might go outside and sit with people that enjoy the pool, but it gives you a space that's not those regular pool chairs that you can be comfortable if you're not going to be actually going into the water.
And as someone who has a daughter who's part fish, that she loves being in the pool and she could be in there all day. And I think Katie can relate with that. Um, it's nice to have a nice place to sit whenever you've talk about wrinkles, when you get even more wrinkly than you already were from being in the water so long.
I took my daughter to Typhoon Lagoon by myself on this last trip, and I found myself. I rode a ton of water slides, and she loves the wave pool, so I set myself up, and I was like, "You have this amount of time," and I couldn't locate her, and I found myself screeching like a parrot. This poor mom of a little girl came over to me and she's like, "Did you lose your daughter?" And I'm like, "She's 15." I didn't really lose her. She more lost me. Oh, anyways, if you hear people talking about the lady screeching like a parrot at Typhoon Lagoon a couple of weeks ago, that would be me. So
When you go up to the cast members, I'm lost. I can't find my daughter. It's not my daughter's lost. It's I'm lost and I can't find my daughter. So the opposite way. Now they also have the Nova Bar, which it's in the lobby, and there's alcoholic and non-alcoholic options, and they have craft cocktails. And this is pretty interesting. They can be enclosed in these smoke vessels to infuse intriguing flavor profiles into the drinks. So it's a unique way to get a different taste for some of the things.
That's nice.
And potentially my favorite is they have pizza delivery that pizza can be delivered to your room from 5 p.m. till midnight. And it's not just pizza. They have salads, they have 10-inch pizzas, sandwiches, desserts, drinks, and they can both hard drinks or soft drinks.
The pizza delivery thing to the drink, like delivery to your room is a big deal too. Because like if you have little ones and stuff like that, sometimes they tire out a lot earlier than what your stomach turns off at, right?
Right.
So great to like be able to like get them in, get them bathed and ready for bed, and then have dinner kind of delivered there, and you don't have to go out and you don't have to put on your shoes or anything like that. I love those kind of things for especially for young families.
Right. Right. And who doesn't like pizza in bed?
And having it delivered, you don't even have to go out and get it.
Right.
It's a neat thing of how often does that happen where one, they're in a hotel room. Two, someone's
Mhm.
bringing them pizza or and desserts too. Can't forget desserts. Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's just an exciting thing. I remember the few times that we were younger and ordered room service and having someone, wheel the thing. It's like, oh, look, it's so cool. We have to eat here.
Right.
And now shopping, they have the Universal Studio Store, which does have things that are geared more towards the Stella Nova uh, hotel beyond just the normal generic Universal stuff. Oh, that's really nice whenever it's the night before you leave and you're like, oh, I forgot to get a gift for so and so. All right, let's go to the store or the morning of, either way. And now activities, although as if eating and shopping aren't enough, they have the pool, which is 10,000 square feet. There's also a kids splash pad. They have outdoor games. There's a hot tub, a fire pit, and poolside movies. So in the fire pit is really neat, especially if you have a little bit of a cooler evening, during the winter months, and just want to warm up a bit. You're not going to be in the pool, but just relaxing outside by the pool, just getting that atmosphere and hearing the brave kids who were in there actually swimming and laughing, whatever. It just that just says vacation to me.
It does.
And the poolside movies are really neat too. I mean, it's like taking us back to whenever we were kids and going to the drive-in and stuff like that.
Right. Right.
Now, for those of you who don't know what a drive-in is, watch the movie Grease, okay? Now, there is an arcade as well, although you do have to buy a game card, and that will be an extra fee. And then, as Katie mentioned before, people who are going to get their workout in, they have a fitness center that has treadmills, exercise bikes, elliptical machines, weight machines, free weights. So you can stay in shape while you're on vacation. Doesn't really happen with me because I got the little, well, I don't need that because I get my weightlifting and running in enough with the parks, especially when I have a tired little 5-year-old who needs to be carried,
Yep.
who's now like 50 pounds of being carried too.
Right. And do you have your book bag too at the parks?
Oh, of course, filled with
Yeah.
waters.
So you're good.
Now we have the stroller, which I push her in sometimes, but then it's like, I need to hold me, daddy. It's like, so we have the stroller. But even when she doesn't ride the stroller, it's when we put all the backpacks in there too. So I'm still getting my workout in.
Right. Absolutely.
Now heading over to Terra Luna. This opened on March 25th. It is the theme to terrestrial exploration, also a prime value resort with shuttle buses. It has that same multicolor curved exterior as Stella Nova has. And then the rooms are pretty much the same setup with the double queen, separate vanity and bath, also 315 square feet, if I enunciate. So then restaurants, the important stuff, right? They have the Omega Cafe and Market. It's quick service, American food, and it has the burgers, panini, stuff like that. Breakfast is there too. It's the with the grab and go options. So it's basically the counterpart to the Cosmos Cafe and Market that was over at Stella Nova. You're getting a similar experience. And then rather than the Galaxy Bar and Galaxy Grill, this is the Moonrise Bar and Moonrise Grill. Also poolside, same type of thing of burgers, wraps, salad, nachos, wings, chicken, hot dogs, stuff like that. They also have the refillable souvenir mugs. I believe it's a different style that is themed to the Terra or excuse me, Terra Luna.
Right.
And then they have the similar seating of the chairs and tables, along with the couches, alcoholic beverages, things like that. And so, also the Luna Bar, which is which is a lobby bar that does again have both the alcoholic and non-alcoholic options, craft cocktails. But that's really neat that having the lobby bar, it's like whenever you get in there, you're checking in. If you're, just a little bit early and your room's not ready, if you just want to relax and have something to drink, or it's been a long day and you're coming back, the kids, hey, let's go order something here in the lobby. Oh, look at this cool thing. Let's sit in the little stalls. And so it's an experience for the kids.
It kind of starts your vacation off on the right note, right?
Or if you're waiting on your last day to get your transportation to the airport or your next leg of your journey, wherever you're going, it's a nice little fond farewell as well.
Or if it's
Right.
to make new friends because your family's driving you insane.
Or you make new friends because your daughter talks to everybody and asks them what their age is and if they have a dog and if they have a cat and if they speak Portuguese and whatever else.
You would be such a good reporter. Your facts.
Pretty much, yeah. We were at actually it was a couple of different parks we were at that we came across so many people that spoke Portuguese that she was in line and she's like, she heard them speaking a different language. She's like, what is that? And it was like 5, 6 people in a row that spoke Portuguese. So then she thought everybody there spoke Portuguese. So that's what she was asking everybody. It's like, do you speak Portuguese? Oh no. Do you? No. So I had to explain that about 10 times.
That's kind of cool that at her age, she's already like listening and realizing there's different languages and stuff. That's really neat.
Yeah, that this is actually a little learning thing. Whenever she was learning to brush her teeth. Another thing that we would have her brush, and I would count like in Spanish,
Okay.
or my wife is from Indonesia, so we would count in Indonesian. We would count in English. Just count it. Well, one, just the counting, and then two, exposing her to the different languages. And then with our travels, and well, living in Morgantown, West Virginia, where WVU is, we have a lot of people from different countries who work at the university, and her school is very, very international. That you walk down there on a parent night and you can hear like 10 different languages being spoken. So
That's
she's exposed
amazing.
to that whole thing all the time. We have a lot of friends who speak Arabic, or you know other good friends we had are from Colombia or different countries. So she kind of gets that an awful lot. So she's kind of a little bit ingrained in her of different languages. So we've been very happy with that, learning experience from the beginning.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And of course, they have the pizza delivery here as well. And the two hotels of the Stella Nova and the Terra Luna, they're kind of like a yin and yang type thing.
I was
That
gonna
you're
say
gonna
they're
get.
kind of like sister resorts. Like and Universal does that a lot. They'll have resorts that are not carbon copies of each other, but they could hold hands and be really good friends.
It's like endless summer with the dock
Yeah.
side and the surf side.
Right. And they have pretty good views of Epic.
Yeah, they're right there. And of course, they also have the Universal store. There's their pool. Now, the pool here is zero entry, 0 foot entry. So you can just walk into that nice slope. So you don't have to worry about going up and down steps. So anyone who has younger kids worrying about them falling in, or anyone with mobility issues, this is really nice for getting in and out with the ease of it. There's a hot tub. They have a little lounge. They have tabletop outdoor games. So again, that's a real nice thing that whenever you need a break from the pool, or after you've just eaten and you need to, wait your 30 minutes before you jump back in, there's something to do to keep you occupied. And then they also have their arcade, which again costs an extra fee to get the game card, and a fitness center, which is pretty much similar to the other one. But yeah, having the different styles, it's really neat that you could have 2 different trips. You're going to stay at the different hotels that have different themes, but there's that added bit of familiarity. Like if you stayed at once, like, okay, I kind of get the idea of, it has the similar things that we had before that we really liked, but it's the same thing, just different.
Hmm. Different vibe. On this trip, I did the Terra Luna, but then I went to Disney, and then I came back, and then I stayed at the Cabana Bay, and totally two different experiences. Like I really enjoy resort hopping, like totally different experiences.
And even if you don't stay at the different hotels, just visiting them, that if you take a rest day from going to the parks of, okay, we're going to do 2 hard days of we're up at the crack of dawn going till the parks close down, and all right, we need a day to recover and just not do too much, and um, don't want to have to spend the money for an extra day at the park, of just going to the different hotels. The theming of them is so awesome that I love Cabana Bay. Just going back to that retro 1950s, 1960s era. That I don't know. Ever since seeing Back to the Future, whenever I was little, I could think I could totally live there. I would not mind so much.
I totally flipped out. I thought it was so cute. The bathroom with the soap is Zest, and then the shampoo and stuff is VO5 that they had. I thought it was just it was cute. It was very cute.
You either bring your Ipana toothpaste, and then moving on to a little more of a luxurious place is the Universal Helios Grand Hotel, a Loews hotel. So make sure you throw that actual little bit in there. And calling it the Helios Grand Hotel, that is very, very accurate. That this place looks stunning. That it was.
So
Go
I
ahead.
love the story of like what Helios is. So Helios is from Greek mythology. He's a personification of the sun. He's not the same thing as Apollo. He is actually like the sun. And like if you look in Greek mythology and everything like that, they talk about like they depict him as him driving a chariot across the sky, and he actually means like bringing light and warmth to a place. A very distinct like deity, like Greek mythology is really they were really insistent that he is not Apollo. He is the actual, it actually means the sun. He's a minor deity, but he was still like a big time deal.
And this is why we have Katie on here. Besides her charming, personality and everything else, is that she brings the history lessons. This is why we have a history major. That this is now qualifies to be an educational podcast.
Well, I think that like if you look at the pictures of this hotel, if you step foot in this hotel, you feel that warmth. You feel that like, I mean, the sun is like central to a lot of things. And this hotel has that feeling of luxurious and warmth. And it's really a really a cool story behind, it makes it makes sense of why it is called what it is.
Yeah, and it was supposed to open just yesterday on May 22nd, or just yesterday as you're hearing this, but they moved that up to April 16th. So a little bit of an early preview. And the theme, to go with what Katie was saying, it's the elegant Mediterranean. So Portofino Bay is specifically Italy, but Helios is more of a general Mediterranean. It has like a sunlit sanctuary. And so it goes exactly what Katie was saying about what Helios is supposed to be, and that warmth and that welcoming atmosphere. And the hotel has like these celestial patterns and constellations as its decor throughout the lobby and the rest of the hotel. It's a signature collection. However, it does not include the Universal Express Unlimited. So please be aware of that. That's only for Portofino Bay, Hard Rock Hotel, and the Royal Pacific that have that. If you want to learn more about those hotels, we have a podcast about that too. And now, what makes the Helios Grand Hotel even more special is it has its own dedicated entrance to Epic Universe, right into Celestial Park, which I think just goes really nice with everything.
Now, also to know that if you are trying to get into let's say you're staying at another resort, another Universal resort, in the morning, you cannot access their entrance into Epic Universe. You actually have to be staying there in the morning to get in. But during the day, if you're at the park, you can come to the hotel, eat at the restaurant, look around, whatever, and then use that entrance. But they won't let you use that entrance into the park if you're not staying there in the morning for early park admissions.
Important tidbit. which gives you more reason to stay at the Helios Grand Hotel.
Right.
And now the rooms, they have a lot more categories, and some of these rooms look really, really fabulous. That all the rooms will have that separate vanity and bath and incredible views overlooking Epic Universe. That Annell said that the other two hotels of Stella Nova and Terra Luna have great views, but the Helios ones are just amazing. You're like right on
Unmatched.
top of it.
Right. Unmatched.
And now with the rooms, there is the standard king room. This will sleep four with a roll-away bed, and it's 340 square feet. There's also the standard two queen that will sleep five, a little bit bigger at 415 square feet. It also has a little sleeper sofa. Of course, jumping up even higher is the club level two queen room. This will sleep five if you bring in one of the roll-away beds, 325 square feet, but it has access to the club lounge, which we'll get to in a little bit. And then there's also the club deluxe two queen room that will sleep five, 415 square feet, has that sleeper sofa. It's basically the identical layout to the standard room, but it comes with the club access, the club lounge access, which will give you a continental breakfast. They have evening hors d'oeuvres, and there's a personal concierge there.
Have y'all ever stayed club level anywhere?
No, every time I try to book at Disney, they're always out when I try to use my DVC points.
We've stayed club level before, and I don't consider myself really, really bougie, but man, club level ruins you. Just ruins you.
Oh no.
You roll into the little lounge and people are happy to see you. And sit down to like light, nice little treats and everything. You have to bring your best manners. It's such a good experience. Club level is something that if you can do it at least once, definitely do it. And if you can do it more than once, I want to come along with you. So
Seems like we got to come along with you.
So I've mentioned on here before that growing up, my dad was a management consultant who traveled around the U.S. all the time. And so he got a whole lot of frequent flyer miles and a lot of hotel points. And that was basically a lot of our vacations that made it very affordable, especially for, six of us having to travel with, parents and kids. And a couple of times we did get the club level access that had the little continental breakfast and stuff like that. And, we were young kids, had no idea what it was. Like, oh yeah, here we got a free breakfast if you want something, and here, or just here's breakfast. You can, we're going to eat here today in this special room. And we didn't think anything. I was like, oh, this is a cool hotel. I want to come back to this one, not realizing, oh yeah, it's a kind of an upper level thing.
Right.
Then we kind of like based on this, like, yeah, the other hotel was better. They had the breakfast thing we could go to. So, but yeah, it is nice. Although I have stayed at a couple other hotels that do offer that just as a standard thing. Specifically, I was out in Yosemite, the Ahwahnee Hotel. Although that is, if you ever get to go there, talk about grand, fabulous hotels.
Okay.
That is like whenever you picture an iconic, lodge in a national park, this is it.
Oh, really?
And it is so gorgeous. And like these giant 6 foot tall fireplaces in the sitting rooms, and made of brick on the outside, but with the wood accents and everything. And they had like an evening tea thing, and cookies and things they would set out. Very upscale.
And what's the name of this one?
The Ahwahnee, Ahwanee. Yeah, that spelling is correct.
I have to look that up.
Yeah, if you it was one of the, I think it's episode 6 of this podcast. My dad and I talked about Yosemite, and we discussed it there. That first time my dad and I went just as us, we went once when we were little with it as a family trip, but my first adult trip, we booked it a little bit late, and the one hotel, the Yosemite Falls Lodge, was full. So it was either you splurge for the really expensive hotel, or you kind of skimp on one of their in Curry Village. It was like a wood frame cabin that's covered by a canvas tent, canvas covering. So I went upscale because I like indoor plumbing. My dad roughed it a bit and went into the other one, And every night he was in my hotel room getting a shower and everything, and then sitting in the lobby bar and getting his meal there and everything. So yeah, we went opposite ends on that. But yeah, it's great. And actually, next week, my dad and I are going to talk about. Well, Katie's going to join us too, hopefully, about Yellowstone and some of the grand lodges they have there too. Same type of
Okay.
thing.
Nice.
So if you want to preview or if you want to see it, the Ken Burns documentary about national parks that was 15, 20 years ago now. They show some pictures of it, and they're amazing.
Okay.
Well, it's one of the things that. So okay, comparison. If you go to the Grand Californian out in Disneyland or
Okay.
the Wilderness Lodge in Walt Disney World, it's
Right.
that type of
Feel.
yeah, they did a very, very good job of bringing that feel of the national parks into those hotels.
Okay.
So Universal, come on, we need a national parks hotel to bring the feel too, you know?
Nice.
Now back on track. This next one that I think Katie's really gonna like, and her daughter as well, is the How to Train Your Dragon Kids Suite.
Oh, how cute is that?
Oh, and they did such a good job on this that there's a separate kids room that has two twin beds. The overall um, suite is 545 square feet. The beds are decorated that have like this little covering thing where the head is that goes over that. It looks like it's like a wood thatched, like house like they have in the movies. There's a mural on the wall that has Toothless in it. There's wood accents on the features that on like the closets look like they have like iron features on them, like for the door for the handle and everything. The door looks like it could be the door to a castle with like this big knocker on it. I mean, it is really, really well done.
And I would totally be like, go brush your teeth or you're going to end up toothless.
And you see, they say, old married couples that they tend to like rub off on each other, or people with pets can tend to resemble them. I think Katie and I are rubbing off on each other. She's starting to tell some of these dad jokes that are my forte. Okay.
Jungle Cruise got nothing on you.
What a cool thing though. Like How to Train Your Dragon, like Disney or Universal does a really good job with these kid suites. They do the Minions suite. They do like a really good job of bringing in like the fun and whimsy of like some of your favorite, like I don't want to say like Minions, How to Train Your Dragon. They're a different feel, if even like the shows are different, but they are so like whimsical and fun for kids.
Even the Jurassic Park suites. I mean,
Yeah.
I still want to
I
stay
don't
in
know if
one
you
of
can say
those.
whimsical and fun and Jurassic Park in the same sentence, but yeah.
At least the beginning of the movies are whimsical and fun,
Yeah.
especially with the kid suites with
Okay.
the beds. How they're like the what would they call, like the gyro ball type thing that they got to
Yeah.
ride in. I so want to sleep in one of those. And the good thing is we only have one daughter, so whenever we you know go there, and her new things is, can I sleep in your room? Can you sleep in my room? And so they have two beds. So like, sure, it's vacation just for you.
Right.
Little does she know. Now, moving up a step is the king suite. So the king bed in a separate room. There's a sleeper sofa, 495 square feet. There's also a kitchenette that has tables and chairs and a microwave. And then we start going really big. That was big. Here's really big. The celestial suite, king bed in a separate room, a sleeper sectional sofa. So it like wraps around. That's really neat. 740 square feet, has a kitchenette with tables, chairs, a microwave, a small fridge, as a full bathroom, and then a smaller powder room that's right by the entrance to the room whenever you first come into the suite. Next one up is the Helios Grand Suite. Again, king bed in its own bedroom, sleeper sofa, 945 square feet. Again, with a kitchenette with tables, chairs, microwave, small fridge, and then the full bath, and then the powder room. But wait, it gets even bigger. The hospitality suite. Again, king bedroom in its own bedroom, or king bed in its own bedroom, sectional sofa, 1,200 square feet, kitchenette with table and chairs, microwave, fridge. There's a dining table, and then a full bath that has a sink and shower in one area, and then a toilet in another area, and then a powder room. So you really can have several people getting ready in the morning. And then top of the line, the presidential suite. Separate bedroom with a king bed, sectional sofa, 1,500 square feet. The kitchenette with the table and chairs, microwave and fridge, dining table, the full bath that has a sink, a rainfall shower, and a tub in one area. The toilet's in the other. Has the powder room, and it has its own fitness room. Now it's a real small thing. It has just some dumbbells and a stationary bike with a TV in there. But
The view's amazing.
oh,
It looks
and
right at the park.
there has a little window there that looks out the year. It can be, I don't know why they even have the table or the TV in there, but you're on the stationary bike, pedaling, looking out at the parks. I mean, you don't need to watch TV.
Right.
I don't know. I think it would be funny to look in on the person that's pedaling their bike. Enjoying the
Although,
park.
no, the presidential suite is up kind of high, so you're gonna have to, be Spider-Man to do that. But yeah, I think I do agree with you though, Katie. So what, 1,500 square feet? That's almost as big as my house.
It's a big room, big suite.
That suite is sweet.
How many does it sleep? Right? It's got to sleep more than just like a
Me?
bed, right? It's a big room.
It didn't specify how many, but with the king bed, you got two there, and then the sectional sofa, so you can throw a few more on there, and it's basically how many you can sneak into the room.
Can you see my brain working where I'm like, how many people can we get into that room to split the cost? So
Right.
I think, yeah, that's really cool.
I think you're big time in it when you go into a hotel room, you got that double door. You don't have you have the double doors to open
Oh yeah,
up
just
the grand reveal.
that tells you you've made it.
Right.
And how about the bathroom? It has the rainfall shower and a tub. I mean, oh, what should I do today? Do I want to go to the nice rainfall shower, or do I want to soak for a little bit?
Or do both.
Decisions. What are the little people doing outside? Although you might need that soaking tub if you're, might overdo it on that stationary bike.
So I just looked it up and it says this 1,500 square foot suite delivers the ultimate comfort with a private bedroom featuring a king bed and a bathroom with a separate bath and toilet area, including a walk-in closet. Along the common areas are a sectional sofa, feature powder bath and toilet, and single sink vanities. The suite also includes a private fitness area. Maximum occupancy, 2 guests.
No way.
Mhm.
All that money for 2 people?
That's right. So
In that case, I'll take 2 because I want one for myself.
2 guests. That'd be awesome for like a honeymoon or like an anniversary or like, I don't know. That just seems like a really cool like getaway.
Well, it's graduation
But the
season, so
table in there, I saw a video of someone staying there. The table in there is a big table.
Yeah. I don't
well, that's
know.
like
2 people,
that's the
it's a
super
long
rich people.
table.
If you sit at one end, they sit at the other end, and
Who's gonna pass the food in between you?
You can
Jeeves,
throw
you're ringing a
the
little bell. Get the butler to come in.
legs down the way.
Or like at
Wow.
one of those old time bars where you're sliding stuff down the table to one another.
I guess so.
Although I was saying before that this is graduation season, so this could also be the hey, my kid just graduated. They're out of the house. I'm now taking my vacation for myself thing.
Mm-hmm.
No, not the kids for the graduation. This is like, all right, they're gone. They get their
Right.
stuff. I'm going on a vacation.
Right.
Because as we were talking before, sometimes, after the kid graduates either from high school or college, the parent deserves something.
Or maybe even to host. I remember when I got married, I got married during COVID. I mean, I literally was at the hotel getting ready to go to the rehearsal dinner and Atlanta shut down. So our venue called. We couldn't get married at our venue. It was a mess, but we were staying at the Marriott and they gave us one of their presidential suites. So we hosted people there. And then, I had guests that were already staying at the hotel or were nearby and they can go back home. But we had food and stuff and we just hosted everything there. That's possibly something you can do, I guess, at the presidential suite. Host, have dinner parties, whatever. Everybody come chill at your room after the park or before the park, and then they leave and you get the whole place to yourself.
Yeah, it's
I'd,
only two. Good,
I'd
Katie.
open the door and I'd be like, look at where I'm staying. Not you know.
Well, it's the ultimate show off thing of, oh, hey, would you want to come? Hey, let's get together. We're gonna go here. And yeah, that's the thing. The only two can stay there, but
Mhm.
others can visit. It's like,
Right.
oh,
To be
come up
like,
to my room. Let's go to
I
your
feel
room
like
tonight. We'll come to
a
my
different
room
person
tomorrow.
at a party every day and be like, and I grant you vice presidential powers. I revoke your credentials the next day. Oh, this presidential suite could be a power trip for me. This could be fun. All right. I got
And of course, whenever Katie stays in this presidential suite, she refers to her husband as the first husband. Or was it the first gentleman?
Let's be honest, that's not happening.
You staying there, or are you referring to him as the first gentleman?
Yeah, either of those are not.
And now, if you can tear yourself away from your presidential suite, there are some amazing restaurants here, starting with the Flora Taverna. It's Mediterranean food, fitting with the kind of theme of the hotel. It has an open kitchen, and live cooking. There's a pizza oven, open grills, a gyro station, great views looking out. There's a breakfast. It can either be a buffet or a la carte. There's an omelet station, pancakes, eggs, yogurt, oatmeal sandwiches. Lunch and dinner is seafood salad, steak, lamb, chicken, pasta. And then they have typical kids' foods of chicken tenders, grilled cheese, pasta, hamburgers, and stuff. And then for dessert, baklava, olive oil cake, pistachio and raspberry cheesecake, gelato, and sorbetto.
Now, I ate dinner here and it was absolutely amazing. I kid you not, and I promise you, I'm not exaggerating. The food was so, so good. So good. Like, even if you're not staying there, I highly recommend the restaurant. And the restaurant is beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. You walk in, and then the way they have these kind of like fake trees, and it just makes you feel exactly like you're in the Mediterranean. It's gorgeous. And then on one side you have the open kitchen, you're seeing everybody cook. That they have different types of table. I kind of had like a rounded booth, and then you look on the other side and you're looking into the park. I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, and the food is amazing. It's a must.
I love I was when we were talking about this and doing a little research. So a tarina, is that how you say it? Tarina? It's like like it's it has like a historical presence to it in Greece. They like this was where like the community would meet together and the kitchen was open and they would discuss things and it was a chance to like put your feet up and talk about things and have like the comforts of the food that you love. Because everything always goes better. Like any discussion always goes a little bit better if you've got good food around, right? And I love that they've like incorporated that kind of a cultural significance into a restaurant at a hotel. I think it's so cool.
Yes, it's beautiful. Like I said, very good.
And Katie, well, the kitchen is the most social room in the house. So having the open kitchen right there, it just brings you right in. There's something to when you're out for a restaurant, like you said, one being social, two having food around it to talk about, but then being able to see it being cooked and having that
Right.
little bit of a show of, oh, there's it's not even my food, but we're seeing them do this and we're seeing them do that. And
I love restaurants like that because to me it means that they have like some cockiness to them that they know their food's good because they don't mind you seeing what they're doing, right?
it
They
also adds to it. Yeah, there's the kinetic feel of you see all the motion, everything that's happening in the kitchen. Do you actually see that, and it makes the place just so much more alive. And the noises of the sounds of them cooking and the chopping and the pots and the pans and everything. That it brings the place alive. It just brings that energy right out into the restaurant.
It definitely does.
Now, the one thing you have to be careful of here, whenever you're going to make your reservations, or if you're going to try and stop in and see if there's anything open, is that it is only open. It is not open all day long. That there are times when it is closed. That breakfast is from 7 in the morning till 11 in the morning. Lunch is only from 12 to 2 in the afternoon, and then dinner is from 5 to 10. So they have a couple of hours breaks in there that they will not be open. So just be aware of that. And now, if you want something equally awesome, just not quite as atmospheric, there's the Aurora Market, which is a contemporary grab and go place with croissants, cakes, paninis, wraps, salads, gelato, and more. There's a coffee bar there. So, again, this is the all right, I need to get to the park. I need fuel. Croissants, it is. Let's go. Or you're coming back from the park and okay, I need something to go take back. I need that little midnight snack type thing. Let's grab some cake or gelato or
The
both.
gelato there, I recommend the Biscoff gelato. So good. That'll be my number one recommendation if you're going there. Try the Biscoff, and they let you sample the gelatos. Try the Biscoff one.
As any good place should.
If you change your shirt, you can go back for more.
Change your shirt, put a hat on.
I need to go on vacation with Katie. She's throwing some little hints. I like how you vacation.
Also, they have the Lotus Lagoon, which is near the pool. And this is really neat. You can place your order remotely. And so they'll bring, order it on the app and they'll bring the stuff right to you. No need to get up. So, staying in the presidential suite and just having people bring you food by the pool. I mean, this is the way to go. And they have wings, salads, sandwiches, wraps, gyros, burgers, kebabs, fish and chips, fries. And so even at these smaller places to eat, you still get that Mediterranean feel, like with the gyros and the kebabs and things along those lines, or the heroes, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Now, the hotel is 14 stories tall, but up on the 10th floor is the bar Helios, which offers 360-degree views. There's three different areas. There's a bar, a dining room, and then like an alfresco area. There's food and drinks you can get, and it's basically like small things like tapas, sashimi, desserts, things along those lines. They will serve food from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. and drinks from either 4 in the afternoon to either midnight or 1 a.m., depending on the day. And so I think it's really neat that this bar like takes up the entire floor because you can see all the way around there.
That's a big investment for a hotel.
Yeah, although the hotel does kind of taper as it goes up to its higher floors. So it's kind of like I call it like a cupola rotunda thing that's it's sticking up as it goes up higher. But it's still pretty neat, and just be able to see all around of not just looking into the park, but then you get to see the outside stuff and look in the other directions too. So I think that's pretty neat whenever I'm around. If you're a high place that I don't know, growing up, I was always really intrigued by maps of what's here and what's there and what's in the other place. So being up there just to be able to see the layout, especially how flat Florida is, that coming from a place that's more hilly and somewhat mountainous, is that seeing flat areas, it's like there's something missing here. Now they also have a Universal Studios store. And then with a pool, this one is also zero entry with a hot tub. And again, as mentioned, that the servers can bring your food and drink order to you. They also have an arcade that requires you to buy that extra game card. And then the fitness center with the normal treadmills, exercise bikes, ellipticals, weight machines, free weights, things along those lines. So, but I'm excited. I got to see these firsthand, especially Helios. I cannot wait to stay there. That place just looks so fabulous. And based on the Annell seal of approval for eating there at the Flora Taverna.
Yep, you definitely got to try and then let me know.
Do you have a specific dish that you recommended there?
I had the prawns and they were huge. It was three of them. They were like this, kid you not, like this inside of my arm, of my hand,
So
of the
she's
palm of my hand. They were huge. I mean, that was a meal. It's served as a meal itself. It's not an appetizer. I mean, they're huge. I had that and it comes with a side, different sides. I had their special fries. Like they have these house fries that with special seasoning. And then it was pita bread. And then I had a coconut, was it a coconut mojito? That's what I had to drink.
note to self: don't record this podcast on an empty stomach ever again. Okay, I'm ready. You had me at prawns.
Yeah, it was good. It was good, good, good.
Is there anything else either of you would like to add before we move into travel tips?
So I think just definitely if you're going to these different hotels and stuff, explore, take at least a day and you're paying your money to stay at this resort. I know a lot of people go down for the parks, but take a day to actually take advantage of what your resort has to offer. And if you have time, look at other resorts, hop around, have dinner. That's what I did. I, hopped on a bus, went over and had dinner at another resort. So, you know, stretch your money out. You paid for the resort, enjoy the resort.
And the other thing is that whenever people go down to like Universal or Disney or wherever else, the amusement parks of, oh, I have to spend every second of my time in the park having fun. You can have fun in other ways too.
Right.
Just walking around these hotels and just seeing what they're like, and you know, if you're not even going to get a dinner thing, go to one of those small grab and go places and try sample one of the little things that they have, other food options that they have. Of hey, if you're having fun, that's a good thing, and it doesn't
Yes.
have to be fun. Comes in different shapes and sizes.
Mm-hmm.
We've done like the rotational dining idea where you go and you grab a drink at one place and then you grab an appetizer at another, and then you grab dinner at another, and then you grab dessert at your last stop, but it has to be a different resort.
Nice.
Again, you see how Katie rolls.
Kind
I'm
of like
telling you.
just like a different way of like, especially like if you're doing like a trip during the holidays where you want to see you want to see the holiday decorations. It's like a good way to like a good excuse to see those different places and be fed.
Right.
Do you have a uh, specific travel tip, or was that it with the?
Um, if you don't have one, I suggest a wet pack. You know, you have use of your resort, including the day you check out. So if you had a late flight, you can always still enjoy the amenities, enjoy the pool. And if you have that wet pack, you can go ahead, put your bathing suits. A lot of the resorts have showers. My last day, I went to the gym. There's a shower there. Shower, put on my clothes to go to the airport, have my wet pack, put my bathing suit stuff in there, put it in my suitcase. And as soon as I got home, you know, washed it. None of your other clothes get wet and stuff. So I would definitely, get a wet pack. It's great for when you stay at the resorts and also when you cruise.
One note on that though, when you have your wet pack, try to wring things out as much as possible, especially if
True.
you are flying, because that adds extra weight to your luggage. And especially after you buy all your souvenirs, you might need that extra weight. So be careful with that.
Very much so.
I like the places that have that little centrifuge thing you can put your wet bathing suit in that wrings it all out. I have to get one of those at home. Those are amazing. Katie, what's your travel tip?
I think that right now a lot of people are like talking budget and things like that when they travel, and I think that a travel advisor is so like important to those discussions, because here's the thing, if you come with an idea of I want to spend this amount, you'd be surprised at how many ideas I can come up with that you wouldn't think are budget travel related. So I think that travel advisors do a wonderful job of stretching the dollars that you do have to spend on your trip, not only stretching those dollars for our clients, but I also think that we have a way of helping you look at things differently, or even just giving you different options that you didn't expect. And with budget like at the top of a lot of people's mind, we can still make a really fantastic trip for you that nobody would say is budget, but fit your needs. So give us a holler and let us know how we can help you.
Yeah, just little tips about dining of, hey, if you bring a few snacks with you into the park, it's going to be a bit less expensive to buy them outside of the park. And you're not going to have to spend time or money in line getting something there. So, and it can keep the kids happy whenever they're get a little cranky too. We learned that the hard way with our little girl, that we were in Niagara Falls. And then one day, at one point in the day, she just turned into a complete beast. And then we're like, what the heck is, what's wrong with this? What's that? And so here, you want to try something? She had a little bit of food, instantly better.
She got hangry on you.
Oh, real quick. And this was never, she was young enough that she didn't really recognize what hunger was. So it was just screaming. It was like, okay, got it. Now, my travel tip is bring patience when you travel. And this is general advice for you, but especially whenever you're going to new attractions and new experiences like Epic Universe and the new hotels. Some of these things are going to need time to work out the bugs, work out the kinks, get used to things, and for other people even to get used to them as well. New things are pretty popular, so expect them to be crowded. But now things that have been open for a long time, the people who work there know how to handle it, know what to expect from the customers and the guests and the clients and everything. But then the people also know how to work the system too, and they know where things are. They're not getting quite as lost. So whenever things are new, bring patience, because it's a new learning experience for everybody. There's steep learning curve there. There's going to be whenever, since it's new and you get lost, there's bound to be people who are wandering around a lot. They're getting lost. They're bumping into you because they're looking around, or they're looking at maps, or looking at their app, the app on the phone. So keep your head up, be patient, and just be aware of that. Enjoy the experience of seeing something new as well. In Indonesia, they tell you just be sabar. Sabar is patient. So we tell that to my daughter all the time. Sabar, okay, sabar. Now, if you have a destination or an experience that you'd like to have us discuss on the Yinz Goin podcast, or if you'd like to share your favorite destination or travel tip, feel free to contact us. We'd love to hear your feedback and ideas. And now, how can people get a hold of you?
You can find me on Facebook at Dreams by Design Travel with Annell. That's Annell. Or you can just shoot me an email at Annell, Annell, at dreamsbydesigntravel.com.
For us here at the podcast, we are on Facebook and X at Yinz Goin. Yin spelled Yinz, Goin, Goin apostrophe with a question mark at the end. Of course, you found this podcast, so you kind of know how to spell it anyway, right? But in case anyone's just, anyone out there who's just listening to someone else who's playing it and it's a little bit too loud and just, eavesdropping, now you know where to look for us, okay? Where all this information is going to be in the show description. So if you like to book a trip or have any questions, you know how to find us. You don't have to have written it down right now or worried about spelling. It's all going to be right there. So you can just copy and paste. Please like, follow, subscribe, leave a review, tell a friend. If you like what you heard, let others know so we can get the word out and spread the fun and excitement that we do here. You can find us pretty much anywhere you find podcasts. So iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, wherever. So Annell and Katie, this was a lot of fun to learn about and talk about some new things that are coming.
It was almost, you could almost describe it as epic.
Right.
Not only can I dish out the dad jokes, I can set them up as well.
I see. I have lots of learning to do.
Wonderful. We'll talk to you ladies again. Now we're going to have you back to talk about Puerto Rico
Yes.
in a couple weeks. So I'm excited about that. You and our friend Jenny's going to come join us too.
Yes, that's going to be fun.
Please join us next time. We're heading out, Nat. We'll see you later.